Hello, Golden State Warriors fan. We're back with an exclusive video bringing you the latest updates. First of all, subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's crucial for you to stay informed with the news daily. Without further ado, let's get to the news. Something absolutely wild is swirling around the NBA community right now. And let me tell you, if this turns out to be true, it's going to be one of the most unexpected moves in recent memory. According to multiple whispers coming from sources close to the league, and I'll stress, nothing's official yet. But John Collins, yes, the same John Collins who was just finding his footing again in Utah, has reportedly signed a 5-year deal with the Golden State Warriors. I mean, what? This is the kind of bombshell that doesn't just make noise in the Bay Area, it shakes the entire league. From Atlanta to Salt Lake City to now San Francisco, Collins has always been one of those players with untapped potential. And now he might be headed to a franchise that knows how to maximize every ounce of talent. This rumor is catching fire fast, with fans dissecting every tweet, every photo, every cryptic Instagram story. The idea of John Collins joining forces with Steph, Curry, and possibly Draymond Green has people losing their minds. It's the kind of rumor that sounds crazy at first, until you really sit with it and realize, man, maybe it's not so far-fetched after all. If you look at John Collins' trajectory over the last few seasons, it's honestly been one of the more curious cases in the NBA. Drafted by Atlanta, he showed real flashes early on. Huge athleticism, a developing jumper, crazy hops. People were even saying he could become one of the top power forwards in the league, but then it kind of just stalled out, didn't it? Some blamed the system, others pointed to chemistry issues with Trae Young, and some just said he plateaued. Then came the trade to Utah, which felt like a fresh start. But let's be real, the Jazz were always going to be in a semi-rebuild mode. Collins had moments there, but it never felt like he was fully unleashed. That's why this rumor of him signing with Golden State is so fascinating. The Warriors are not just a team, they're a culture. They take guys who are written off and give them purpose, direction, and rings. Think about what they did for guys like Andrew Wiggins. So if they truly are bringing in Collins on a long-term deal, you better believe they've got a vision for him. And maybe, just maybe, that vision involves resurrecting his career and making him a major piece of their next championship run. Now let's talk numbers, because you don't just sign a 5-year deal in Golden State unless the front office is absolutely convinced you fit the puzzle. We don't have the full financial details yet. Again, all of this is based on speculation and early reports. But if this contract is anywhere near the range people are whispering about, it's a huge commitment from the Warriors. 5 years is not a flyer. It's not a let's try it out and see how it goes. It's a statement. If they're really locking up John Collins for half a decade, they're betting that he's not just a role player. He's a foundational piece. And let me remind you, the Warriors aren't exactly shy when it comes to luxury tax payments. They've proven they'll spend if they believe it'll keep them in the title hunt. So either this is a wild misdirection, or they've seen something in Collins that makes them say, yeah, he's worth the investment. Maybe they see him as the athletic big who can run with Steph in transition, stretch the floor, switch defensively, and throw down lobs. Maybe they're envisioning a new kind of death lineup. Only this time, it's Collins flying through the paint while defenses scramble to cover shooters. What's really stirring the pot right now is the reaction from current and former players. Some cryptic tweets have surfaced, likes, eyeball emojis, and vague posts from guys like Draymond Green and Jordan Poole. It's all adding fuel to the fire. These guys know things before the media does. That's just how it works in the NBA. The group chats, the workouts in the offseason, the same agents. It's all connected. And from what we're seeing on social media, this isn't just some random fan theory. There's a definite buzz behind the scenes. Even some Warriors insiders are starting to say, look, we can't confirm anything yet, but where there's smoke. And that smoke is looking more and more like a California wildfire. Fans have started tracking Collins' location, literally following his plane, watching who he follows on Instagram, checking if he's been spotted in the Bay. It's all getting a little insane, but that's the NBA in 2025. The league never sleeps, and neither do the detectives in NBA Twitter. What makes this rumor even more wild is what it could mean for the Warriors' identity going forward. Because let's be honest, Golden State is in a weird place right now. Steph's still Steph, but Klay Thompson just left. Draymond's getting older, and the young guys have been inconsistent at best. Signing Collins could be part of a bigger shift, a reimagining of who they are post-dynasty. Imagine a future core of Steph, Collins, Kuminga, and maybe even Moody or Podziemski. That's not a team clinging to the past. That's a team evolving. And Collins, at just 26 years old, fits right into that timeline. He gives them vertical spacing, rim protection, and a guy who's hungry to prove himself after being doubted in Atlanta and overlooked in Utah. If this deal really is happening, it's not just about adding talent, it's about signaling to the league that the Warriors are not done. They're pivoting, retooling, and ready to build something new. And John Collins, of all people, might be the face of that new era. It's a twist nobody saw coming, but one that's starting to make a lot more sense. Let's not forget how the Warriors operate when it comes to fit and basketball IQ. They don't just sign players based on athleticism. They want guys who understand the game on a deeper level. And while Collins might not have the reputation of being the smartest player on the floor, that doesn't mean he can't adapt. Think about Andrew Wiggins again. People questioned his motor, his basketball mind, his ability to defend consistently, and then he gets to Golden State and becomes a playoff hero. So if Steve Kerr and Bob Myers, assuming he's still consulting behind the scenes, believe Collins can thrive in their system, it's worth paying attention. They don't gamble recklessly. They plan, they develop, and they execute. This rumored 5-year deal could be a way of saying, we see you, John Collins. We believe in your upside, and we're going to give you the tools to be great. For a player who's been underestimated for years, that could be the exact kind of motivation he needs. And for the Warriors, it's a calculated risk that could pay off big if everything clicks the way they envision. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. And while we're on the topic of fit, let's imagine for a second how Collins might actually look in the Warriors system. Picture him in that iconic motion offense, setting screens, slipping to the rim, popping out for mid-range jumpers or corner threes. He's not the shooter that some of their past forwards were, but with work he could be. And on defense, that's where it gets interesting. The Warriors love switchable defenders. And while Collins hasn't been elite on that, and he's shown flashes, put him next to a defensive savant like Draymond Green and you might unlock a different beast entirely. Draymond has a way of bringing out the best in his front court partners. And if he's healthy and engaged, he could mentor Collins into a more disciplined defender. Add to that the spacing provided by Steph and the cutting of Kuminga or Moody, and suddenly Collins doesn't have to do everything. Just the right things. That's the beauty of Golden State. They simplify the game for you. If Collins buys in, if he accepts the role and grows within it, we might be looking at one of the sneakiest comeback stories in years. A guy who was almost forgotten, now thriving on basketball's biggest stage. Of course, none of this comes without risk. Let's not pretend like Collins is a sure thing. He's had injuries, he's had confidence issues. There's a reason he was traded for pennies on the dollar and given him a 5-year deal. That's a gamble, no matter how you spin it. But maybe the Warriors are looking at the bigger picture. Maybe they see a market inefficiency, an undervalued asset with untapped potential. The kind of move that could look like genius in hindsight. If he flames out, sure, it's a costly mistake. But if he figures it out, you've just locked in a 20-10 guy with athleticism for days at a bargain compared to some of the massive contracts flying around the league. It's the kind of swing for the fences move that has defined the Warriors dynasty from the start. They took a chance on undersized Steph. They gave Clay and Dre time to develop. They traded for Wiggins when nobody else wanted him. And maybe, just maybe, John Collins is next in that line. High risk, high reward. And with Golden State's track record, you can't help but give them the benefit of the doubt. The fans are divided, as always. Warriors Nation is buzzing, some excited, others skeptical. Twitter polls, Reddit threads, YouTube comments, everyone's got an opinion. Some think it's a genius move, a low-key masterstroke that could revive the team's fortunes. Others are saying it reeks of desperation, that the dynasty is over and this is a last-ditch effort to keep things afloat. But one thing's for sure, nobody's ignoring it. John Collins to the Warriors, if it's real, has officially become the biggest off-season headline. It's got everyone talking. And that in itself is telling, because the Warriors don't just make moves for attention. They make moves to win. And if they're serious about Collins, it means they believe he can help them do just that. Whether that's as a starting 4, a small ball 5, or a versatile utility piece off the bench, time will tell. But the conversation has begun, and it's not going anywhere. Not with this much smoke in the air, not with the league watching every step they make. If nothing else, Golden State has reminded us all why they're the most fascinating team in basketball. And let's be honest, from a content creator standpoint, this is gold. We live for this stuff. The rumors, the speculation, the possibilities. Because it's not just about basketball. It's about the drama, the narratives, the comebacks. John Collins going from forgotten in Utah to potentially being the next Kid Warrior. That's a movie waiting to be written. And if the rumors are true, the opening scene starts now. He walks into Chase Center, jersey waiting, the lights, the cameras, the expectations. A new chapter begins, not just for him, but for the entire Warriors organization. Will it work? Will it blow up in their face? We don't know, but the possibility alone is enough to send chills down your spine, because this is what the NBA is all about. Movement, redemption, evolution. So stay tuned, folks. We'll be tracking every development, every source, every cryptic tweet. If John Collins really is about to become a Warrior, then buckle up, because the next NBA season just got a whole lot more interesting, and we're here for every twist, turn, and dunk along the way. Let's see where this ride takes us. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.